Right. So this chapter was so packed that I don't know what's happening. Uh, but Shonen Jump is either rushing Oda by a lot, or Oda is rushing the story so much that we're getting so many fillers in one chapter. By fillers, I mean like things that fill in the missing blanks in One Piece. Um, there's actually an astounding amount of information, that an astounding amount of things that have been clarified in here. Some of the mysteries of the One Piece world have been clarified in this chapter that I don't even know like where we're headed there. It raises some other questions regarding that, and it kind of gives headway to one of my theories regarding Shanks and Shamrock. But we'll get to that when we get to that. Honestly, I don't know where to start with this. It's an interesting chapter. Um, but let's start with like just we'll go sort of chronologically over here, but not 100% chronologically. We'll start with the biggest. Well, not biggest. I would say. Is it the biggest? See, this one like it's so many things in this chapter that need to be clarified that I don't know if it's just the biggest. Uh, well, let's start. Let's say it's one of the bigger mysteries in One Piece, which is the Florian Triangle. We actually learned that the Florian Triangle, the things that we saw in the Florian Triangle, or the mystery of the Florian Triangle, the way it got its reputation, was Harold. Harold basically used the cover of the fog in the Florian Triangle to basically destroy pirate ships or ships in general. I don't know. I don't know what the case is. Maybe there's something protecting in something that Emu or anybody else wants to protect in the Florian Triangle, and that's why they basically made Harold. So right now, Harold is fully in service with the world government. Less so, the world government, more like the Five Elders and Emu. And I don't know if he knows the existence of Emu at all, which is kind of sad to see because this man was Zebek's best friend, and Zebek was trying to overthrow Emu because of what Emu represented, and for your best friend to be working for this person who you don't want at all in power is just sad to see. Um, Anyway, so Harold is working with Emu and the world government. He's working for the Gorosei at the moment. I don't know if he knows Emu at all. Uh, and he's been destroying ships using the cover of the Florian Triangle's fog to destroy it, to basically avoid people from getting in there, which is weird. Why do you need to protect that space? Which this is very interesting because he's not only destroying pirate ships, he's destroying any ships that try to enter there. Like that's basically the gist of what we're going, because we see a fisherman saying that they don't fish there because of how dangerous that spot is. So we can say that fishermen's ships are also probably what Harold is tasked to destroy. This also kind of gives us a clue of what might be there, and it gives headway to one of my arguments saying that Harold was willing to subjugate one race of giants, one generation of giants for the betterment and the future plans of the next generation. Because right now we still see a ton of giants. If I'm right, we still see a ton of giants in the Florian Triangle. If you go back to what do you call it? The Thriller Bark, yeah, Thriller Bark arc. You still see that there are stuff in there, the people in there, and those could be giants, especially given their size. And if that is their size, I would say that they're probably one of those elder giants, the ones that basically, basically Harold's race and ancestors. So I'd like to see where they go with that. Okay. While we see that there, we kind of also kind of get a breakdown of the God Knights, the different levels of contracts that you can form with Emu. I'm guessing they're just saying they're clearly not it seems like they've not clearly disclosed Emo's thing, but apparently you can make contracts with Emo. We know it as people, as the people readers, because we've seen Emo and everything. So the contracts are probably with Emo. And there are 3 levels of them. There's like shallow sea knight, deep sea knight, and deep sea knight. That's what the manga. I don't know if I'm getting the names wrong. Maybe the translation I read was a little different. And apparently what I got from that, the deep sea knight and the deep sea knight, there's only 13 people there. So I'm guessing the Goros here are 5 of the deep sea knights, and then there are like another 8 of the deep sea knight level. I'm guessing the official god knights are the deep sea knights. But anyway, that was an interesting breakdown. I wonder to what level this contract kind of like works for them. Either way, that's just this very small thing. We then come to Shanks actually showing up. Now, this is what gives headway to my Shanks Shamrock theory. For those of you who don't know, I kind of find that Shanks kind of acts out of character sometimes, especially if you look at how Kid gets handled by Shanks. It doesn't seem very much in character of Shanks. So my theory is that there is a switch that happens sometimes. I think Shanks is still a celestial dragon, as we see in this chapter. We see that in this chapter, Shanks has actually come over here and he's expressing or pretending to express a certain displeasure of being left behind by his father, because he embodies the celestial dragon ideologies, it seems. But again, it looks like it's a pretense, especially because of this and one more thing that happens in the chapter. So I don't know if he's pretending or he's not, or maybe something else. It seems like he's pretending, let's just say. My theory is that Shanks is still a celestial dragon, and he's also a pirate. The reason he can be both, he needs to be both rather, is because he is playing double agent for the rest of the world, and I think Shamrock is playing double agent for the Celestial Dragon. I think what's happening is there are times where Shanks and Shamrock get switched to play each other's roles. It's kind of like a Freaky Friday kind of situation, but it's not because it's like them actually switching their bodies, switching the entire person basically because they're twins. They can do that. So I think when Shanks is more ruthless, it's actually Shamrock playing Shanks' character, and I think when Shanks is being more benevolent, I think Shanks is back in his position as the leader of the group. Not sure about this, and I don't know if any of the I have interjections of how any of the crew might know about this. Maybe the core members do know about it and treat him differently at that time. Not sure, but there definitely is something to look into. So we kind of do see that another thing that happens that makes me believe Shanks is still benevolent is basically when Fisher Tiger attacks. We see actually Fisher Tiger attacking this place. And we see a lot of our favorite characters like Boa Hancock, Sandersonia, and Koala, all of them basically escaping during this attack. We all know this happens. But we do see that Fisher Tiger was almost not 100% capable of doing this by himself. Either Shanks or Shamrock did this. Now, I say either Shanks or Shamrock because I don't know who the correct person is. It is indicated that Shanks is the benevolent one over here, but it could be that Shanks, after joining the Celestial Dragons, became more Celestial Dragon-like than Shamrock, and Shamrock, having lived the entire life like he did, found information regarding how the Celestial Dragons treat everybody, and chose to basically not go down that route and start helping people. And especially because he is the one to help Fisher Tiger, the person helping Fisher Tiger would have to have a lot of information. Now, I don't know when the Fisher Tiger attack happened after Shanks joined, but if the events are very close by, I think Shamrock would likely be the one who had passed the key to Shanks. But if it had been significantly after, there's a high possibility that Shanks could also be the one. We also There's high chance of Shanks being the benevolent one because we see Harold take a double take when he's talking to Shanks, and we see kind of like the dark expression on Shanks thing, kind of like he is, he's not really 100% committed to this, or he's doing this against his will or something like that. Anyway, that's basically Shanks and Shamrock situation. I kind of find this entire thing with Harold a little hard to see because he's kind of falling into this kind of place where he is just saying yes to everything the world government does, and the world government hasn't even like made sure, like hasn't even granted a single promise. Like we literally see one of the elders literally say that um once he's able to become a deep sea contractor, I guess, Elbaf would be accepted. So that means Elbaf has still not been accepted into world government. Honestly, we obviously know that, but it's they're playing him for a sucker, and I just hate the fact that Harold is going through this. Anyway, he's literally right now a slave to the world government. There's nothing to it. He just doesn't have the chains on him. Anyway, we also see some good interactions with Harold and some other kingdoms we know, and some other characters we know. So we see interaction with Harold and I forgot his name. The name for the Sikh Ryugu Ryugu Palace king. What you guys know who I'm talking about? Fisherman Island's king. And basically she gives a premonition of Shirahoshi's birth and the fact that she could be possessing the power of Poseidon. Now, this is when he was saying this, I'm like, he doesn't know that Harold is working for the world government, right? When he was saying this, I was literally getting like secondhand nerves for him because Harold works for the world government. The world government wants all of the weapons under control. Therefore, he's literally has to report this. He doesn't even have to report it. He's just going to because he thinks the world government is on the right side when it's not. And I was getting secondhand nerves just seeing this happen. And I'm like, dude, just don't tell him. Like, I knew it was happening while I was reading it. I'm like, just don't tell him that you just don't know that Shihausi has the powers of Poseidon, or just don't tell him that. Just don't tell him that. But then he just blabbered. I was like, you dumbass. Anyway, but obviously he doesn't know anything about it, so that's fine. It's going to be so hard to see this. I don't know what's going to break Harold, because I think there will be a point where Harold breaks, and that is basically something that I don't know. We'll see what happens when it happens. We also see Harold meet Saul and ask Saul to open the library, because remember, Harold still believes the world government is going to accept Veldath, and he needs a next generation to be taught about the world. And he clearly doesn't think that O'Hara incident was a favor to Emu in a way. And he kind of brings all the knowledge here. So he's kind of oblivious to the fact of Emu's goals. So he wants the he wants the kids of the next generation to know everything. Now that could be a problem for the world government, and I can see them manipulating the information he is setting up right now into something that would drive him deeper further into debt with them. Again, something that we're going to see in the next few chapters. Let me check if I'm missing something because I think I am. Nope, I think that's all that we've covered so far. All right, so then we come to the crux of the chapter, and the one thing that's like the last few chapters have been heartbreaking, heartbreak after heartbreak. Uh, so the next part that we come to is we see that Ida is kind of sick right now, and it's something like it's something seems like it's not fixable. It's something that they can't fix really. They're like, hey, we need to send you to a different place so that you can get fixed. But he is like, I don't want to abandon my people, my bar. It's okay if my time comes. My time comes. I'm like, yo, just don't do that. Like, just survive, learn, survive. For those of you who are like this, no, your life is the most important. Don't listen to anybody else. Don't not find a way to help yourself because when something affects you health wise, it also affects everyone around you. And I'm of the personal belief that your life is not your own. It is your own in some respects, but when it comes to like the void you leave behind when someone passes away, that in that respect, your life is not your own, not only your own. You have some effect on other people, and you have to respect the fact that you have some effect on other people. If you're the kind of person who goes around not not making friends or like not maintaining relationships, it's all right. Okay, that means that you have chosen your life to be solitary. But I don't believe even those people are people who have no one that cares about them. All right. So, in that respect, in the fact that the void you leave behind when something happens to you do not own 100% of your life. You own 99% of your life. That 1% you do not own. So, you have to respect that fact. Anyway, we kind of see Ida go through kind of like this. Yeah, she's sick right now. And we kind of see both her boys. This is this is where I'm going to say it. They are both her boys. Both her boys take care of him in some sort of way. We see Hyruddin has gone out with his friends to get help for Ida. We see that while Hyruddin's out, Loki is trying to get Ida back into like 100% health and trying to get her everything to eat just so that she can get back to how she was. And eventually we find out that so eventually, some giants kind of pop up to Loki, and they're like, "Hey, like Ida's not your real mom. And we're so glad that like she's dying. Um, that she's actually not dying of natural causes. We actually poisoned her to um, to pass away because we don't believe she's the right person for Harold, and your mother was the right person for Harold." And at this point, it's amazing to see that Ida's care for Loki has literally been what's been has had such an effect on Loki, where he doesn't even consider his birth mother his mother anymore. He literally says that Ida is literally the only mother he has ever known. And I don't know, like, I don't know what to say in this situation. It's it is heartbreaking to see him accept that in her final moments. And I hope he gets a chance to go and tell this to Ida before passing away. It's not like Ida needs to know. It's just gonna be heartbreaking if he never gets to tell her. That has brought me on the verge of tears. Anyway, that's about it for this chapter. A lot of mysteries revealed. Very heartbreaking moment at the end. I hope he really gets to go and tell Ida about this. Um, but yeah, that's about it. I hope you guys are enjoying the chapter. I'm kind of psyched about the next chapter. I haven't read it yet. It's out in translations, but I have not read it yet. But yeah, let me know down below in the comments regarding some of the things in it. I'm literally out of it right now because that just reliving that moment kind of felt horrible to me. Anyway, yeah, that's about it. If you guys liked the video, consider leaving a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you like content like this. I'm gonna have more videos, obviously. 11/16 out. We're gonna have that about a week later. But that's it. I'll see you guys in the next one.